Okay, you knew it was coming. This is the story of Blaine and Ronald Glancy, and I think Paul or John Richey. I don't think it was both. We used to do this thing. I did it afterwards, after the incident. We would scale downtown. We would scale downtown Orangeburg. Ron, do you remember? We would climb. This is when it was a bustling city. See, this is a metropolis down here. One of the largest cities in the Low Country. Here's the Bluebird Theater sneaking back there. But see, you could climb. Somehow Ronald and them figured out a way to get on top of these buildings. This is what we would do as kids. For God's sakes. Cindy, your brother, used to do this. And so we would scale the rooftops of downtown Orangeburg. And Blaine and Ron did it before me, and I think John Richey. I hope this doesn't get you in trouble at work, Paul, or Ron, or Blaine. I'm just kidding. For God's sakes. You wonder where that door went to. I mean, what's up with that? And man, we could go inside those top floors, and there were some buildings you just had to jump to. There was one that Blaine was scared to jump to, but he did. I mean, you had to jump or else you hit the street. And so now we come to the fatal incident. No, it wasn't fatal. Oh boy. I keep things safe here. Capital of the Low Country. Anyway, the Kicks were practicing behind Williams Music where Cracker Jam used to practice. So we were in holy ground, holy territory, practicing where Cracker Jam. Sorry about that. Well, one night, Mike Amos doesn't even know this story. He's going to know it today. It's 30 years later. One night, Ronald Glancy is in army fatigues. I imagine Blaine was too. And they're scaling the building. It's normal on a Tuesday or Wednesday night in Orangeburg. I don't know if we were in school or what. And Ron, I don't know, they must have got in trouble. They had to get off the buildings fast. So Ron, see, as you notice, this used to be Williams Music. Now the music doctor. Mike used to work here. Got in touch with Mike Amos down here on my mom's recommendations to form my first band. Well, we formed it together at that time, called Haven. It was going to be Whitehaven, and we decided to call it Haven. It was simpler for the record companies. So Ron jumps off that low. He must have got in trouble, and he's in his army fatigues. And he jumps from that building to this thing, whatever you call these things that hang over a porch roof. God, they still sell music in there. It's a nice drum set. So he jumps. Unfortunately, he jumps to this thing, portico, and he goes right through the portico, right to the sidewalk. And you just had this visual of Ron standing in his army fatigues on the sidewalk with a hole in the roof. And then we had to practice like the next day. I'm sure Mike's, who knows what Mike is saying, if there's a hole in the roof. Why would there be a hole? Well, Brian didn't know why there would be a hole. Oh, they were so petrified about that. And that's another good story from Orangeburg.